Hey guys, welcome back to another Azure gaming video, and today's video we're gonna take a sneak peek at the new units in FFBE JP. So we're gonna start with um, Ramu Sakura. So she's gonna be Esper unit similar to Seeking Nicole or Leviathan Nicole. So let's take a look at her kit, her TMR and SCMR and vision card. So her TMR is a materia that has increased resistance to silence, increased lightning resistance by 30, and increased LB gauge fill rate by 100, similar to Leviathan Nicole. SCMR is Clothes, 64 Spirit, 42 Defense, lightning resist of 50%. This increases physical and magic damage against fairies and plants by 50%. Fairy Killer is really rare, so this is a good SCMR, especially since it's Clothes. Vision card is the same as Leviathan Nicole. It gives 800 base HP, 80 mag and 80 spirit, increases MP for both the passives for 4 and 7, and at level 10 increases lightning, water, light, and dark resistance by 20%. So pretty good for support units. Pretty good vision card there. Alright, so she doesn't have true Brave Shift. It is available from turn 1, duration of 3 turns. Then cooldown to turn 1 is 3 turns. Cooldown to Brave Shift is 4 turns. Innate resistance to lightning, but only 50%. And she is Confuse immune. So she can equip staves, rods, and spears. Kind of weird equipment pool there. But she can equip the clothes, hats, light armor, robes, and accessories. She has level 8 affinity to both green and black magic. So pretty bare bones kit here. She's just typically Leviathan Nicole, but Thunder. Alright, so this ability gives lightning element to physical attacks for 4 turns to all allies. It also increases or amps lightning physical and magic damage by 30. And increases lightning, earth, dark resistance by 100% for 4 turns to our allies. This is going to be useful for dark visions, so you won't really need to gear for lightning, earth, or dark resistance anymore because it buffs the elemental resist by 100. She also has a skill that increases resistance to all status elements 100% for 5 turns to our allies. So she is a buffer in both forms, by the way, guys. She's not going to do too much damage because she is a support unit. Ramu Sakura. Alright, so if you do have her awakened up to EX2, I'm not sure how they will be implemented in global, but EX2 here, she will have a full LB gauge on turn 1. Alright, so her normal attack will also deal lightning magic damage and also amps lightning damage by 15%. And that's about it. You need to equip the SCMR or TMR so she can benefit from Ramu's bonus stats, also Evo Mag and Equipment Mag 100%. Alright, so let's go down to her Limit Burst in normal form. So this removes all buffs from all enemies, so that's a perfect dispel for all enemies. Increases all stats by 300% for 4 turns to our allies. Not that amazing. Because NVA can buff for 400%. Increases LB damage 200 for 4 turns to our allies. This can't be dispelled, kind of low though. Aerith can buff up to 250. NV Zidane can buff up to 300. It also removes all the buffs from our allies, so pretty good LB there for normal form. The base level, base 1 and base 40 do the same thing, except if you max it out, you will need only 60 cris to fire it off. Alright, so let's move on to her Brave Shift quickly. So her Brave Shift, if you have her awakened to X3, she can have access to this ability that boosts plant killer by 160 for both physical and magic. So kind of weird number there, 160. We usually get 100 to 150 to 200, right? So 160 is kind of new. Alright, so she can also triple cast innate black magic, green magic, and abilities. She doesn't have any a wide choice of black magic here, just for the lightning magic damage 65 to all enemies. Also has KSO Wave Awaken 40 to all enemies. Alright, so she has a skill that can cure attack and mag break to all allies, also boosts attack and magic 300. Fill LB gauge 330 to all allies, recover MP 1000, and she can give this skill to all allies. So lightning evoke damage to all enemies, graviton cannon. Not sure how that's going to be useful. But she can also increase physical damage against fairy and plants by 100 for 4 turns to our allies. Also for magic damage. Also increases evo gauge by 4. She has this bolting strike attack that does lightning evoke damage. So you can actually do some damage with her using evoke damage. But I'm not going to waste my equipment on her. She's actually just a support unit. But that can do evoke damage. Alright, she still has access to her imbue here and lightning amp. Alright, so moving down the list, everything here is the same except for her BSLB. So her Brave Shift LB, it buffs all stats by 350. So almost on par with NVA Aerith. By the way, Seeking Nicole or Emperor Nicole also got a buff to his BSLB. It now also does 350 all stats, so which is good. He's a water support version of Ramu Sakura. So this also increases lightning physical damage 45 for 4 turns to allies. Also lightning magic damage 45 for 4 turns to allies. So she's gonna be the best support unit in terms of lightning element. Similar to NV Bart's and Seeking Nicole. So she can really amp up the lightning damage there. And last, it increases LB damage by 250 for 4 turns to allies. So what are my first impressions? Or let's look at her Brave Shift form. Alright, so that's her Brave Shift form. She doesn't have a beard though. So but really cool sprite there. First impressions of Youthful Thunder Sakura. She's a really great lightning support unit. So we can just pick and choose our support units depending on the fight. So Seeking Nicole for water, Thunder Sakura for electricity or lightning, and Bart's for wind. Alright, so let's just quickly take a look at Seeking Nicole. This is his sprite. I cannot like his sprite better than Sakura's. Alright, so he has Brave Shift LB. Just quickly look at it. Got a boost here. I think it was 300. Now it's 350.
This video is sponsored by Amazon Coins. Get 10,000 Amazon Coins for $80 instead of $100. That's a savings of 20%. You can use the Amazon Coins to buy Lapis for FFBE. I placed a link in the description below. Check it out after you watch the video.
Alright, so next Citra will get Neo Vision Awakening. So this is Citra and this is her Brave Shift form. She's gonna go back to her armor. Kind of looks like a Mega Man enemy there. Her staff also got a buff. Her SMR Badrosa. Now it has 150 mag and 170 spirit. Before it had 110 mag and 150 spirit. Evo mag plus 30. So that's still the same. Evo mag plus 30. So at NV, let's see what she gets. So she can now quadcast everything. Innate black magic, green magic, and abilities. She can quadcast this bolting strike attack. Light magic damage 72 with spirit scaling to all enemies. So AoE, bolting strike, quadcast. Really good. And then her normal attack gets upgraded to, let's see what light evoke damage 20 to one enemy, increase evocation gauge by 1. Not really that impressive. LB gauge 4 per turn. She also cast let's see what's that, increase evo gauge 2 per turn. If you have her awakened to X3, she cast she autofills her LB gauge at the start of battle. She also has this increased modifier to all magic except LB, so 50 to all her innate magic. She doesn't really have any notable magic skills, so we can just safely ignore that. Increase magic and spirit by 50 and equipment mag and spirit when dual wielding. She also has evoke damage 100 and evo mag 100%. Alright, so let's move on to her normal form limit burst. This is non-elemental evoke damage 128 to all enemies. Hasn't really been updated. Alright, so let's just go to her Brave Shift form. So Brave Shift form, she can still quadcast everything, including this Bolting Strike, and she gains another Bolting Strike ability. This does non-elemental evoke damage 65, but this is scales with her spirit parameter rather than the usual magic. Alright, so this is AoE. Also consumes Esper orbs instead of MP. Alright, so when used for battle also has magic and spirit buff, increase LB damage 200 for herself, and fully fills her LB gauge. She can remove all status effects from all enemies and all debuffs from one ally, and also increase light resistance 100 for all allies except herself. That's kind of weird, but I think she absorbs light. Does she? Alright, I'm not sure. Alright, so yeah, absorb light damage shaken, so it doesn't really matter what resistances she has. Also has increased mag spirit by 300, so pretty easy to build there. Equipment mag 200, so already capped out on mag TD true dual wield and spirit true dual wield. Also has LB damage, passive LB damage of 200%, so really cool Brave Shift here. 200% modifier cap and innate dual wielding. Alright, so let's move on to her BSLB. So this does 24 hits. It's not really a finisher ability, it's more like a chaining ability. Cost 27, similar to Ukrainian Princess Fina NVA. So this breaks spirit and defense by 74 before doing damage, and then kind of low, but it does break it before doing damage. Increase LB damage 100 for 2 turns to cast her, so you don't really need to buff for LB damage before casting her LB. And then light evoke damage 80, so similar to Terra, I think. 80? Is it 80 or 90? And then 100% ratio, so that means this scales with her spirit again rather than magic. So I'm curious what her best in slot equipment are, because this is spirit, not magic. Alright, so light magic, she can chain with Fina, I think 24. Who else can she chain with? Dark Fina and Soul, I think, normal form. Brave limit burst. Alright, so what are my thoughts about Citra? Pretty cool Brave Shift form there. Kind of hard to chain. I think she will chain with Jupe perfectly with the Jupe. I think really welcome SUMR change here, but she's not gonna really benefit from the magic. I think just the spirit, right? But she's gonna benefit from the Evo mag. Alright, so that's NVA Citra for you guys. Really love her Brave Shifts right here. Alright, so Badrosa, we already talked about that. And last but not least, Mediena. Mediena also got New Vision Awakening, so I'm really excited. I have a lot of Medienas. Right after I make this talk about her kit, I'm gonna show you how many Medienas I have in the game. Alright, so her SUMR Rod, Lunar Eclipse Rod had 170 magic. Now they updated it to 220 magic, so on par with, I think, Dark Gamatin. It also gives increased modifier to her magic and abilities, so 20. It doesn't stack though, so if you dual wield 2 of her SUMRs, it doesn't stack. It doesn't give 40, it just gets 20. So single wielding this and another rod or another copy of her SUMR recommended. It also increases LB damage by 50. Alright, so I think the 50 does stack, but the modifier doesn't. Alright, so really good SCMR upgrade there. I'm really happy because I have a lot of Medienas in my unit box. Alright, so at EX3 she gets 415, so really, 350 magic. No innate resistances or ailment resistances, but she can cast up to level 8 black, level 7 green, and level 6 white magic. So do note, Mediena doesn't have Brave Shift form. She has Super Limit Burst instead. So I'm going to show you her Limit Burst later. When she shifts, I think, infinite. Alright, so let's see. She can increase her own mag up to 300%. This is separate from the usual status increases that buffers can do. So this is similar to NV Mellow. And who else? Who else can do this? Somebody else can do this. I kind of forgot who can. Vivi, I think. I think it is Vivi. Alright, I'm not sure what this ability does, but it does have a freeze icon there in level 5. Increase mag to 80 for 2 turns to caster. Also increase LB damage 200, can't be dispelled, and fully fills her LB gauge with this ability. It only has 1 use though. And then she has innate quadcast. She can quadcast black magic, green magic, and abilities. All of her abilities. So she gains a few passives here. She has more physical and magic damage against demons, 200, so that's pretty significant amount of demon killer there. Normal attack gets upgraded to ice magic damage 20 to all enemies. Also inflicts stop for 1 turn to all enemies, so she could find use in arena. Alright, she also has this increased modifier 50 all magic except LB. So I'm gonna talk about that later after we talk about her passives. She autocasts this at the start of battle. So let's see, +4. I think this one. Increase ice resistance for 1 turn to our allies. Yes. Alright, so instantly autocast 100% ice resistance 100%. She also has increased LB damage 100. A further 100% aquatic killer for both physical and magic. Alright, so if we awaken her to EX2, she can, I think, fill her LB gauge. Yep. Yeah, fill her LB gauge to start a battle. At EX3, she gains 1,000 static mag, so it's worth awakening her to EX3. I can awaken her to EX3 with the amount of Medienas I already have. So if they implement it this way in global, so we haven't seen any EX awakenings yet or bonuses. Lorian got hers by accident, but they took it out, so kind of sad about that. So it means that it is in the game, they just haven't implemented it yet. So let's look at her magic. She has a bunch of magic here, but the most important ones are these ones. So ice magic 100 to all enemies, so that's +50 +20 with her SCMR, so that's 170, which she can quadcast. So really good chaining abilities there using the magic, but this is a finisher skill though, not a chaining skill, so you need to fit all 4 of them inside a chain. But this ability, ice magic 144 to all enemies, so AoE 144, it already has a high modifier. You need to add 70 to it, so I think that's 216 to 214 if I'm not wrong. It also decreases ice resistance by 130 for 5 turns, so really good. But it does have freeze frame, so I don't think there are any current magic damage healers that utilize freeze frames, so she will be best. She can chain best with dupe, I think. So again, I have a lot of Medienas, so I can just make 2 NVA Medienas, I think, if I have enough of her. She also has this lightning finisher skill. Ultima doesn't have really high modifiers. She can also cast Tornado, so that's +70. pretty good. 70 plus 48. All right, so that's Mediena in normal form. Her limit burst didn't really get updated, so let's just move on to her brave shift. So brave shift is non-existent, but she does have a super LB. Super LB. This is really going to be interesting. So 27 hits, chains with Protector's Bayonet. If we click here, it doesn't really have an Ice Protector's Bayonet here. So most likely you're just gonna chain this with a dupe again. So 27 hits, cost 28 crest. This imperils ice by 135 for one turn to one enemy. So before doing damage, imperils ice 135. I think that's the highest ice imperil in the game. It also boosts ice physical damage and ice magic damage by 35 before doing damage. Super LB is gonna be bonkers. I think she's broken as LB damage chainer and magic chainer. And then also increases magic damage against aquatic and demon by 100. So you don't really need to buff anymore except for demon. Alright, so she has 200% demon killer, right? And then ice magic damage 125. So that's kind of high, but it ignores 50% to an enemy. So that's 250. 250, guys. Ice magic damage. Alright, so Mediena, really cool unit. And we're getting her for free if we have enough copies of her. I'm sure we do if you've been playing the game for a while. You can also save up or just get EOC her or use Omniprisms for her or Prisms, whichever you like. So hold on to your Medienas, guys. Don't trade her for trust coins. She's gonna be a great ice chainer for both for LB and also for black magic or freeze frames if you have a dupe or if you have a friend with a copy of her. So that's it, I think. Let me just check it out. All right, so in summary, JB is gonna be getting Ramu Sakura. She's gonna be a lightning support, really good lightning support, the best lightning support in my opinion. Seeking Nicole is gonna have a buff for his BSLB, 350 to all stats. Citra is gonna get an NVA. She's gonna be a light evoke damage healer that scales off her spirit. Not sure how that's gonna work out equipment wise, but really good. Really happy with her upgraded SMR. And Mediena is the prize of this banner. Actually, really good banner. Gumi, props to you. Mediena, really happy because I have a lot of her. All right, guys, I'm gonna skip to I'm gonna show you all my Medienas, and I'll say goodbye there. All right, guys, let's take a look at how many Medienas I have. So let's just filter this 5 and then FFBE and filter it to unit name. All right, so Mediena all right, so Mediena, let's count. All right, so I already have her SMR, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so I have 15 Medienas. I already have her SMR, so I can awaken her to NV, assuming we get 25 fragments, so that's NV. And then I need to spend 2 more, convert 2 more, so EX1. And then I can make another one, I think, for so she can chain with a dupe. Alright, so I'm quite happy and really relieved because I have so many Medienas and I didn't know what to do with them. I'm really happy that she got Neo Vision Awakening. Alright, so while we're here, let's check out Citra if I have enough of her. Alright, Citra already have her SMR, I think. Yep. So that's gonna get upgraded, and I have 3 extra copies of her, so that's a guaranteed EX1, I think. Yeah. Alright, guys, let me know what you think about the new units in JP. Let me know what you think about Sakura, or if you're excited about Mediena and Citra, and also Emperor Nicole. Alright guys, hope this was helpful. I'm really excited about the future of FFBE. I'm really liking the units coming out of FFBE JP. As usual guys, if you kind of like this content, consider subscribing. I upload almost every day, and if you're interested in that, please subscribe. You can also check me out in various social media and also at Twitch, where I stream sometimes when I pull or sometimes when I have a game that I like to share with you guys. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.